Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. I'm here to talk about a particular type of waste which we don't talk about much. I'm basically a chemical engineer, so I came across with a problem very common in West Bengal rural areas, that is the rural slaughterhouses. They produce a lot of waste which nobody talks about. They just openly dump it in the nearby water bodies and the land. So that waste needs to be treated, and for the treatment of that waste, already there are a few and big machineries like incineration that we were talking about in this discussion. But for the rural areas, it is very much important so that they can have a technology that they can afford and easily install in their facilities without where they have very uh, ba- lack of basic amenities like electricity, water connection, and etc. So therefore I would like to show you the problems which we are facing in the slaughterhouses right now. Basically, they are very old in their establishment, so they lack in basic facilities like water connections, electricity connections. So I had to develop a technology that could be run without using these kind of facilities like electricity and basic water things. So from this picture you can see this is one pond water body which was beside the slaughterhouse, which they have filled with the slaughterhouse waste, basically the rumen digest and the blood content. Next slide, please. Okay. Sorry, so basically here you can see the 40 to 45% of the slaughtered animal is converted into the edible product, and other 40% it gets converted into byproducts like adhesive, tallows, soaps, and etc. The 15% that remains, which is not converted into any profitable commodity, that is the blood and the rumen digesta that has been collected in the slaughterhouse waste. So what they do, these rural people, they just openly dump it, which potentially becomes a reservoir for bacterial growth and pathogenic infections, which in turn is a very much concern for human health as well as environmental impact that is it is posing on it. Next slide, please. So these are the pictures that you can see. One of it is a sewer system where they are just dumping the blood as it is without treating it, which is getting into their sewer system and ultimately into our food chain because it is getting run off to the water bodies. Next slide, please. Here, I can tell you that 6 million ton. India is the fourth largest exporter of the meat industry, from which they are producing 1 million ton of waste every year annually. So that waste is not treated. It is just dumped or just put it in the open yard beside the slaughterhouses. So that needs to be. Here you can see the permissible limits, that the effluent of those slaughterhouses is way beyond the permissible limits that EPA has set for pH, for TSS, and even COD and BOD values. So therefore this needs to be treated properly. Next slide, please. So these were the setbacks. As I said, the rural slaughterhouses are very old. They are reluctant to invest any kind of money so that we can provide them to a proper scientific and a complete solution. So we need to have a technology which is very affordable to them also, and they are easily accepting that technology to be put in their facility. Next slide, please. So here, these are the existing processes which are being used to treat the slaughterhouses. So I have mentioned three main problems with the existing technologies. Is one of it is very heavy machinery. It demands capital cost. It also demands operating cost, which the slaughterhouse owners are not reluctant, because they don't have any profit from that. Unless we show any profit that by converting this waste you can convert it into wealth, unless we show that, they won't be ready to take up any kind of technology whatever we provide. Next slide, please. So from that I concluded that composting and drying is the cheapest process that these slaughterhouses can take up to convert this untreated and unhygienically effluents that they are throwing away into a commodity which can be of a value product. So for composting, why I didn't went for composting. Composting is already existed. It is time consuming process when it requires a very huge land area for its processing, and then there's a odor formation during the whole process. So drying would be a better and a cheaper option where we can get the material within a shorter time as compared to the composting. Next slide, please. Here I wanted to show the process. I don't know what is the problem, a technical problem with this. Previous slide, please. Here I developed a equipment which contains 3 parts. It has a vessel in which I have designed a unique helical mixer ribbon dryer, which is sharp at the edges, and this blade particularly provides an uniform mixing and equal distribution of heat when I'm heating this bovine blood and the rumen digesta. The mixture is the blood and the undigested food content of the animal is treated together. It is heated at a particular drying condition, and then I get a product which is very low in moisture content. When the waste is treated, the moisture content of that waste is around 85%, which is after drying is coming down to 12 to 15%. So that is a very good organic rich fertilizer. It's a nitrogen fertilizer. It's been compared to the existing fertilizers like chemical fertilizer, and the yield from the particular fertilizer that has been made from this mixture of blood and rumen digesta has shown better yield, better plant growth, and also it has changed the health of the soil, which due to repeated cultivation, the soil loses its fertility. It also has shown residual fertility when we have used this fertilizer. Please, next slide. Okay. Next slide, please. So that's it, I would like to say. Actually, I wanted to show some pictures of my slide.
No worries, Ankita. I think it's a very interesting solution, compared to the mix of the presentation. So I know you had issues with the presentation, but thanks again for your presentation. Thank you. Yeah.